Hello. Today I'm in John chapter 5. Now, of necessity, much of Jesus' ministry was in confrontation with the scribes and Pharisees, which was the harder side of his ministry, but it was of necessity. So let's see what happens in John chapter 5. Jesus is in Jerusalem and he's near the pool of Bethzatha. And there are a lot of disabled people here. In particular, one man who has been ill for 38 years. And John makes a point of explaining how long this poor man has been ill. So I'm leaving out some details which you can read for yourselves. But Jesus says to him, "Get up, pick up your sleeping mat and walk." So for the first time in 38 years, this man picks up his mat, tucks it under his arm, and off he goes. So he's walking through the streets of Jerusalem, and he comes across the priests, the scribes, and the Pharisees. And they say to him, "You can't carry that sleeping mat. It's the Sabbath. It's against the law to do so." Well, now, was it against the law? No, it wasn't. The Sabbath law, according to Moses, was that you were to do no work on that day. And Jesus did not disobey the Sabbath law. It was not against the law to carry something. And this is probably the man's only possession. If he'd left it where it was, he might have lost that as well. Instead, this was against a man-made rule made by the scribes, the Pharisees, and the priests. So what happens? The Jews go to Jesus and they say to him, "You can't do these things on the Sabbath. It's not lawful." Instead of arguing with them, Jesus simply states to them, "The Father has kept working till now, and so do I." Now the Father, that's Jehovah God, had rested on the seventh day. That's the seventh creative day. He desisted from creation, but he was still doing other work, other good works. And Jesus too, like his Father, was doing good works on the Sabbath. It wasn't work. Now the Jews took exception to this and they said, "You are now making yourself equal to God," which, as far as they were concerned, was blasphemy. But let's look at what could have happened here. The Jews who came across this man who had been cured could have been delighted for this man. After 38 years, you're cured. Isn't that wonderful? Who has done this for you that we can go and say thank you, because he must be a prophet from God? They could have gone to Jesus and said, "Look, we understand that you're the Messiah. We're going to follow you now. And we know that you are going to lead us into the kingdom and we will be approved by God." Is that what they did? No. What got in the way was their own man-made rules. And instead of these rules leading to salvation, they actually led in the other direction. And I cannot condemn man-made rules enough, because they lead in the opposite direction to salvation. So Watchtower, please will you take notice of this, how dangerous man-made rules are, and you are misleading people with them. So on a lighter note here, did Jesus leave the Jews thinking he was equal to God? Well, he goes on to say in verse 19, "I tell you most solemnly, the Son can do nothing by himself. He can only do what he sees the Father doing." Isn't that wonderful? Verse 20, "For the Father loves the Son and shows him everything that he does." What a wonderful relationship these two had. They did everything together, and all the wisdom and knowledge that God had, he showed to his dear Son, Jesus Christ. And Jesus, who loves us so much, has come here to give us this knowledge and wisdom. And the scribes and Pharisees were more concerned with their own knowledge and wisdom, that they rejected this wonderful wisdom from Jesus Christ. It's so bad. Yes, let's follow Jesus Christ. Reject all man-made rules. Read the scriptures so we know what comes from Jesus and what doesn't. But keep in mind the love that Jesus has for us. And on another nice note, in verse 27, it says that because that God loves him so much, he has appointed him supreme judge. The elders are not the judges. Jesus Christ is. And how grateful we can be for that. So for my usual viewers, I'm sorry this has been another harsh video. I'm sorry for the necessity of making these ones. And I'm hoping the next one will be a little lighter in nature. But thank you for watching and take care.